Let's talk about something so many of us are feeling lately. It's that nagging sense that you just can't focus anymore, that your brain is just foggy. It's got a pretty wild name, brain rot. Today we're going to get into what it is, how it's actually rewiring our brains, and yeah, what on earth we can do about it. Let's jump in.
So let me ask you, have you found yourself losing your train of thought like way more often? You're in the middle of a story and then, poof, it's gone. You're constantly saying, wait, what was I talking about? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, trust me, you are not alone in this.
And here's the thing, this isn't some personal failure. It's not just you. The source material we're looking at today calls it an invisible virus, this idea that something is spreading and fundamentally changing how we all think and connect with the world around us.
All right, so if it's a virus, let's diagnose it. Where does it actually show up? Well, the truth is, the signs are hiding in plain sight, just woven into the little moments of our daily lives.
I mean, think about it for a second. You see it everywhere. Dinner dates where everyone's just staring at a glowing screen. Bathroom breaks that somehow turn into a 20-minute scrolling session. You might have even seen a cab driver watching videos while you're in the back seat. These aren't just weird one-off things. They're all symptoms of the same big problem.
Now here's the kicker. This is not happening by accident. This so-called virus is the result of systems that have been meticulously, carefully designed to hack our brain chemistry, all to keep us engaged so they can make a profit.
In fact, one of our sources uses this really powerful metaphor for it, the dopamine cartel. It's this idea that these huge tech companies are basically acting like cartels, knowingly exploiting our psychology to get us hooked on those little hits of dopamine their apps provide.
And what's really wild is how it works on everyone, from tiny babies to full-grown adults. For kids, you've got shows like CoComelon, which use super bright colors and jarringly fast scene changes right when a baby's attention might start to wander. It basically traps them. And for us, well, social media apps will literally hold back your notifications for a split second. Just that tiny delay, it builds up anticipation, so when you finally get the notification, the dopamine rush is even bigger. It's a trick.
And if you think that sounds like an exaggeration, just look at the numbers. The UN figures there are about 64 million people with drug addictions worldwide, but the number of people addicted to social media? A staggering 210 million. In just a few years, this dopamine cartel has grabbed a market share 3 times bigger than the drug trade. It's unbelievable.
So, what's the actual damage? What's the real-world cost of all this? Well, the sources point to 3 major casualties in this war for our focus.
The first one is the most obvious, right? It's our attention. There's a part of our brain that's basically the CEO of focus, and it is being totally rewired by this nonstop fire hose of stimulation. And this single number just lays it all out. Back in 2003, research suggested our average attention span on any given screen was about 2.5 minutes. Pretty good. Today, it's plummeted to just 47 seconds. And why is that? Well, because our brains are getting these constant, massive dopamine hits. Our baseline for what's considered interesting just keeps going up. Anything that isn't instantly stimulating feels boring.
And when you can't pay attention, what's the next thing to go? Yep, our memory. That amazing, fragile thing that really makes us who we are, it's taking a serious hit.
This is all wrapped up in something called the Google effect. It's this weird habit our brains have developed where they just don't bother storing information if they know we can easily look it up later. We're basically outsourcing our memory to our phones. Researchers call it cognitive offloading, and it leads to cognitive debt. We're not exercising our memory muscles, and so, just like any other muscle, they're getting weaker.
And this last one, this one is a little sneakier, but it might be the most profound. It's our language. The very tool we use to build complex thoughts is starting to crumble.
I mean, just look at this quote. Now, internet slang can be funny and creative for sure, but a lot of it is also really repetitive, and it lacks the detailed structure you need to talk about complex ideas. We're losing the words we need to describe nuance and subtlety.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis. I know, it's a bit of a downer, but here is the good news. We are not helpless here. The entire second half of this is the prescription, the real, actual steps you can take to fight back and get your focus back.
All right, so the road to recovery has to start with the tech itself. We have to change our relationship with the very thing that's causing the problem.
So here's your game plan. First, go on an algorithm detox. This means you take back control. Every time you see one of those brain-numbing videos, hit not interested. You're literally training the algorithm to serve you better stuff. Actively choose a long documentary over an endless stream of shorts. Second, set real physical boundaries. Just putting your phone in another room while you eat dinner or study, that little bit of friction makes you think twice before you grab it. And third, and this is my favorite, use your tech against itself. Switch your phone screen to grayscale. Trust me, it makes it so much less appealing. Set time limits on apps. These simple fixes can be a total game changer.
But look, this isn't just about using your phone less. That is only half the battle. It's about actively rebuilding and strengthening your brain in the real world.
First up, and this one might sound weird, learn to be bored again. Stop filling every single empty second with your phone. When you're standing in line, just stand there. It's in those quiet moments that our brains actually process things and come up with new ideas. Second, ditch the mental crutches. Do that simple math problem in your head instead of grabbing a calculator. Try to get somewhere familiar without using a map. Treat your brain like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And finally, think about the whole picture. Your mind and body are connected. A healthy diet, getting enough exercise, all that stuff directly boosts your brain's performance and makes it more resilient to all this digital noise.
And when you really boil it all down, it comes back to this one idea: self-respect. Keeping that promise to yourself, the one where you said you'd put the phone down for an hour. That discipline will spill over and help you succeed in everything else you do.
So that really leaves us with one final question for you to ask yourself. The people who beat brain rot are intentional. They choose what they consume. The people who get beaten by brain rot are passive. They just let the algorithm take them wherever it wants. So, the choice is yours. Which one are you going to be?